First of all, I come with a record.
I'm George Smither, and I'm running to be the mayor of Toronto.
My vision is for a city where our youth, our entrepreneurs, our business owners, and our people get a better shot at achieving their dreams.
Come at me, because I want to engage you.
Delivering value for money so that we have money for the things that we value, that's what my candidacy is about. Okay, thank you.
Well, I mean, I think the thing about, I've now been in quite a few of these debates of the old format, if I can call it that, and you prepare for them in a very kind of regimented sort of way. Like you're preparing these 30-second answers, and you sort of anticipate what the questions are and so on. I think with an interview format, it's more relaxed, it's more free-flowing. I think people get to see maybe a glimpse of the person that's being interviewed as opposed to this kind of machine that's been trained to go and stand in a format and do a certain thing. I think the debates, because there are so many, tend to produce the same answers over and over and over again, and the same shots that candidates take at each other over and over again, none of which ever reach any conclusion. And I'm not saying those debates shouldn't happen, but I'm just saying I've moderated even myself probably half a dozen, and I found the repetition factor is kind of extensive and that they don't really accomplish very much. I think in this instance you had two things going on here. One was a little interview that I was partly directed to give in terms of some questions they wanted asked, but you get the candidates to give you a little chance to talk on their own, one-on-one, and they're not worried somebody's going to attack them or criticize them or whatever. And then, of course, we had questions from the audience, which will be whatever they're going to be. And so I think the combination of those two things was actually a nice change probably for the candidates, and maybe actually elicited a bit more information than in a situation where you're always kind of mindful of the other person and mindful of being defensive or answering the attack that came 3 answers ago. So I think on balance it was a change. Is it better or worse? I don't know. I guess the audience are the people that have to decide that.
It's a question of a revenue problem versus a spending problem, because there are people here who would believe it's a revenue problem, and others, of course, who have said during the campaign it's an expenditure problem. How would you address that?
I think we should be looking in the national debates. I think what people don't like are these debates where there's 5 people all talking over each other at once and it devolves into kind of a shouting match. I think we should be looking at being a bit creative for the national debates to come in a future election or provincial, where you look at a combination of traditional debating where all the candidates are on the stage and taking part, maybe a series of one-on-ones, because other people would like that, where they do see 2 people debating, but there's only 2, so there's not going to be 5 people talking at once, and then maybe a bit of an interview format, and maybe they're done on different nights. But I think the idea of an interview, for example, where you can ask people questions and they can respond, and maybe you can even follow up with a bit of a supplementary, and even the town hall portion where people get to ask questions that are on their minds, I think those are all good things, and we should make sure the public aren't denied seeing both those formats, but more particularly seeing the candidates perform in each of those formats, because they show different sides to these people and what they have to say.